Hi everyone, welcome to all. This is Vidyam Academy's NEET Initiative Most Expected Question Series. This is Rajiv Patel. Today's topic is 12th Biology, the third chapter, Reproductive Health. Into this chapter, the subtopic is Problems and Strategies, Population Stabilisation, Birth Control. Let's welcome to all. Let's get started. The first question is, according to the World Health Organization, WHO, famously known as, reproductive health means total well-being in all aspects of reproduction. Which of the following best reflects the understanding of reproductive health? Option A, absence of reproductive diseases and sexually transmitted infections only. Option B, total well-being, physical, emotional, behavioral and social in all aspects of reproduction. Option C, ability to produce healthy offspring without any medical assistance. Option D, access to contraception and family planning services for all married couples. What is the right answer for this question? The right option is option B. So here total well-being, physical, emotional, behavioral and social in all aspects of reproduction is exactly the right answer. Why and how? Let's see the explanation. So reproductive health is defined by World Health Organization. It's not just about the absence of disease. It means a state of complete physical, emotional, behavioral and social well-being in all matters related to the reproductive system and its functions and processes. So this broader definition means that a person is reproductively healthy only if they are physically free from reproductive diseases and emotional, stable and socially supported in making informed reproductive decisions. It covers everything from sex education and contraception to safe motherhood and prevents of sexually transmitted diseases. It introduced the concept to emphasize the reproductive health is a human right that requires awareness, education and access to service. It's not just medical treatment after problem arise. That's what option B is exactly a right answer according to the World Health Organization measures. Let's move to question number 2. Which of the following contraceptive methods works by physically preventing sperm from reaching the egg and also provides protection against sexually transmitted infections, STIs, famously known as? Option A, oral contraceptive pills. Option B, intrauterine device, IUD with copper. Option C, male condom. Option D, surgical vasectomy. It's very, very important and tricky question. Would you guess the right answer? The option C is a right answer here. So male condom is the right answer. Why and how? The male condom is a barrier method. This is a sheath placed over the erect penis that physically prevents sperms from entering to the vagina and reaching the egg. So this is the primary and fundamental understanding of this subject. Because it creates a complete physical barrier between partners, it's the only widely used contraceptive method that simultaneously prevents pregnancy and protects against sexually transmitted infections, including HIV/AIDS, gonorrhea, and syphilis. Oral contraceptive pills work hormonally. They suppress ovulation and alter cervical mucus but provide no protection against STIs. Copper IUDs work primarily by making the uterine environment hostile to sperm and implantation but do not protect against STIs. So vasectomy is a permanent surgical method that blocks sperm release but provides no STI protection since it doesn't create a physical barrier. That's what the male condom is, a barrier method. It's a sheath placed over the erect penis that physically prevents sperms from entering the vagina and reaching the egg is the right answer. Option C. Next, question number 3. Combined oral contraceptive pills prevent pregnancy primarily through which mechanism? Option A, they create a physical barrier in the cervix that blocks sperm entry. Option B, they suppress ovulation by maintaining high levels of estrogen and progesterone. Option C, they cause the uterus to contract and expel any fertilized egg. Option D, they kill sperms inside the vagina through spermicidal action. What is the right answer for this question? Option B is right answer. Let's see how. They suppress ovulation by maintaining high levels of estrogen and progesterone. Combined oral contraceptive pills prevent pregnancy primarily through which mechanism? They suppress ovulation by maintaining high levels of estrogen and progesterone. So this is the explanation. Let's go by. Combined oral contraceptive pills contain synthetic estrogen and progesterone, or progesterone alone in mini pills. When taken daily, they maintain artificially high blood levels of these hormones throughout the cycle. The hypothalamus and pituitary interrupt these consistently high hormone levels as a signal that the body is already in luteal and pregnant state. So they suppress the release of FSH and LH. You know what is FSH and LH? The follicle stimulating hormone is FSH and luteinizing hormone is LH. Without the FSH surge, there is no follicle development, and without the LH surge, there is no ovulation. So no ovulation means no egg is available to fertilize, making pregnancy impossible. A secondary mechanism. The pills also thicken cervical mucus and alter the endometrial lining, making implantation less likely even if fertilization somehow occurred. So that's what they suppress ovulation by maintaining high levels of estrogen and progesterone. So this is the combined oral contraceptive pills prevent pregnancy primarily through this mechanism. And next, let's move to question number 4. Intrauterine devices, IUDs, are placed inside the uterus by a doctor as a long-term contraception. Which of the following correctly describes the mechanism of copper-releasing IUDs? Option A, copper IUDs suppress ovulation by releasing hormones that blocks FSH. Option B, copper ions released are spermicidal and make the uterine environment hostile to sperm fertilization. Option C, copper IUDs create a physical barrier at the cervix preventing sperm entry. Option D, copper IUDs thicken the zona pellucida to prevent sperm from penetrating the egg. What is the right answer for this question? Intrauterine devices are placed inside the uterus by a doctor as long-term contraception. The right answer is option B. The copper ions released are spermicidal and make the uterine environment hostile to sperm and fertilization. This is the right answer for this question. Why and how? Let's see. Copper IUDs such as CUT, CU7 and multiload 375 work through a non-hormonal chemical mechanism. The copper wire or sleeve on the IUD continuously releases copper ions into the uterine cavity. Copper ions are toxic to sperm. They impair sperm motility, reduce sperm viability, and create an iconic environment inside the uterus that sperms cannot survive in. Additionally, copper ions cause a mild inflammatory reaction in the endometrium, a lining hostile to implantation, and they may affect the fertilization process itself. Importantly, copper IUDs do not suppress ovulation. The woman's hormonal cycle continues normally. This distinguishes them from hormonal IUDs like the LLG and IUS, which release levonorgestrel and work partly by suppressing ovulation and thickening a cervical mucus. So this is the right explanation of option B, why it's right answer for this question. And next, move to question number 5. Which of the following correctly describes vasectomy and tubectomy as methods of contraception? Option A, vasectomy, cutting and tying the uterine tubes in a female. Tubectomy, cutting the vas deferens in males. Option B, vasectomy, cutting, tying the vas deferens in males. Tubectomy, cutting, tying the fallopian tube in the female. Option C, so both vasectomy and tubectomy involve removal of the gonads to prevent gamete production. Option D, vasectomy prevents testosterone production. Tubectomy prevents estrogen production. What is the right answer for this question? The right answer is option B. Let's see why and how. So vasectomy and tubectomy are permanent surgical contraceptive methods together called sterilization. In vasectomy, so male sterilization, a small portion of the vas deferens, the tube that carries sperm from the testis to urethra, is cut and tied or blacked. This prevents sperm from being included in the ejaculate, so the man can still have sex and still produces testosterone normally, but his semen contains no sperm. In tubectomy, female sterilization, a small portion of the fallopian tubes, we can call it as a oviducts, is cut and tied and blocked with clips. This prevents the egg from traveling down to the uterus and prevents sperm from reaching the egg, making fertilization impossible. Neither procedure removes the gonads or affects of hormone production. The testosterone and estrogen levels remain normal after both procedures. So this is the right explanation why and how vasectomy and tubectomy works here. And next, move to question number 6. Emergency contraceptive pills, ECPs, often called the morning after pill, are used after unprotected intercourse. Which statement about ECPs is correct? Option A. ECPs work only by preventing fertilization and have no effect after the egg is fertilized. Option B. ECPs contain high doses of estrogen and progesterone, or only progesterone must be taken within 72 hours of unprotected intercourse. Option C. ECPs are the same as regular OCP pills but taken at a higher frequency. Option D. ECPs are recommended as a regular monthly contraceptive methods for all women. So what is the right answer? The right answer is option B. ECPs contain high doses of estrogen, progesterone, only progesterone must be taken within 72 hours of unprotected intercourse. So this is the explanation. Let's see. Emergency contraceptive pills are backup contraceptive option used after unprotected intercourse. They are not meant for regular use. They contain either high doses of synthetic progesterone alone, as is the most common formulations, or combination of estrogen and progesterone. The high hormone dose works through multiple mechanisms. It can delay or prevent ovulation if taken before the LH, a surge. It can alter the cervical mucus to prevent sperm from reaching the egg, and it can change the endometrial lining to prevent implantation if fertilization has already occurred. The critical factor is timing. They must be taken as soon as possible within 72 hours of unprotected intercourse for maximum effectiveness, with effectiveness declining significantly with each passing hour. They are not recommended as a routine contraceptive method because as a high hormone doses have side effects. So that's what ECPs contain high doses of estrogen, progesterone, only progesterone, and must be taken within 72 hours of unprotected intercourse. Let's move to question number 7. India's Medical Termination of Pregnancy (MTP) Act was passed to legally allow abortion under certain conditions. Which of the following is correct regarding the MTP Act? Option A. MTP is allowed at any stage of pregnancy without restriction in India. Option B. MTP was legalized in India in 1971 and allows termination up to 20 weeks, extended to 24 weeks in 2021 for certain categories. Option C. MTP is only permitted when the mother's life is in immediate danger. Option D. MTP requires written consent of the husbands before the procedure can be performed. What is the right answer? The right answer is option B. MTP was legalized in India in 1971, allows termination up to 20 weeks, extended 24 weeks in 2021 for certain categories. The Medical Termination of Pregnancy Act was passed in India in 1971, so making abortion legally available under specified conditions and ending the era of unsafe, illegal abortions that caused many maternal deaths. The Act allows abortion up to 20 weeks of pregnancy with the opinion of one registered medical practitioner and between 12 to 20 weeks with the opinion of 2 practitioners. The MTP Amendment Act of 2021 extended the upper limit to 24 weeks for specific vulnerable categories, including rape survivors, minors, women with disabilities, and cases of substantial fetal abnormality. The act was designed to reduce unsafe abortions, maternal mortality, and to give women reproductive autonomy, not as a primary contraceptive method. The woman's own consent is sufficient. No spousal consent is legally required under the Indian MTP Act. Next, let's move to question number 8. Here, match the following on the columns. So, column 1, contraceptive methods, and column 2, category mechanism. The first one, copper CUT. So here option A, surgical or permanent sterilization method. So here 2, oral contraceptive pills. So here B, intrauterine device, non-hormonal and spermicidal. Option 3, tubectomy. So here option C, barrier method, prevents sperm egg contact physically. So here option 4, male condom. So here D, hormonal method, suppresses ovulation via FSH and LH. Do you know what is FSH and LH? Once again, so let me tell you what is FSH and LH. The follicle stimulation hormone and luteinizing hormone. Option A, 1B, 2D, 3A, 4C. Option B 1D 2B 3C 4A. Option C 1B 2A 3D 4C. Option D 1C 2D 3B 4A. What is the right answer? The right answer is option A 1B 2D 3A 4C. How and why? Let's see. Copper T is correctly matched to option B because it's an intrauterine device that works through the non-hormonal spermicidal action of copper. Ions released continuously into the uterine cavity, making it hostile to sperm. It is not hormonal and doesn't suppress ovulation. The oral contraceptive pills matches D. It's a hormonal method that maintains high estrogen and progesterone levels, blocking FSH and LH surges from the pituitary, thereby suppressing ovulation entirely. So tubectomy matches here because it's a surgical permanent sterilization procedure in which the fallopian tubes are cut and tied, making it irreversible and a terminal contraceptive choice. The male condom matches option C because it's a barrier method that physically prevents sperm from entering the vagina, creating a complete mechanical separation between the partners. So option A is rightly matched 1B, 2D, 3A and 4C. Question number 9. Here we have assertion A. So here we have reason R. In vitro fertilization, famously known as IVF followed by embryo transfer ET, is used to help couples who cannot achieve fertilization naturally, and the resulting child is sometimes called a test tube baby. Reason R. In IVF, the egg and sperm are collected from the couple. Fertilization is carried outside the body in a laboratory, in vitro, and the resulting embryo is then transferred into the uterus of the biological mother and surrogate to complete a development. So here we have assertion A and reason R. Option A, both A and R are true and R is the correct explanation of A. Option B, both A and R are true but R is not the correct explanation of A. Option C, A is true but R is false. Option D, A is false because IVF babies develop entirely outside the body in an artificial womb. What is the right answer? The right answer is option A, both A and R are true and R is the correct explanation of A. Why? Let's see. Assertion A is true because IVF is indeed a widely used assisted reproductive technology, ART, for couples facing infertility. And children born through this method are popularly called test tube babies because fertilization occurs in a laboratory vessel. So in vitro, it means in glass. So rather than inside the womb's body. So reason R is also true because gives the exact correct description of the IVF procedures. Eggs are surgically retrieved from the woman's ovaries after hormonal stimulation. The sperm are collected from the male partner. Fertilization is performed in a laboratory dish where the sperm and egg are combined under controlled conditions. The resulting embryo is cultured for 2 to 5 days and then transformed into the uterus of the biological mother or surrogate for implantation and normally developed. R directly and completely explains why the method is called in vitro fertilization, why it helps couples who cannot achieve natural fertilization outside. So option A is right answer. And final question of this session. Arrange the question number 10. Arrange the following events in the correct chronological sequences, describing what happens when an emergency contraceptive pills is taken after unprotected intercourse. So here P, Q, R, S, T, U. So both are here. So P is unprotected intercourse occurs. Q, high doses progesterone taken within 72 hours. R, LH surge is delayed or suppressed, ovulation doesn't occur. Option yes, cervical mucus thickens, sperm cannot reach the egg. T, endometrial lining altered, implantation prevented even if fertilization occurred. U, pregnancy is avoided. Option A, PQRSTU. B, PQRTSU. Option C, PRQSTU. Option D, PQSRTU. What is the option for this question? The correct answer is option A, PQRSTU. So rightly, a chronological order correctly matched. Let's see. The sequence begins with the P because unprotected intercourse occurs, creating the risk of pregnancy. Q follows immediately. The woman takes the ECP containing high dose levonorgestrel and combined estrogen progesterone as soon as possible and within 72 hours before ovulation has occurred or before implantation is established. The high progesterone from the pill suppresses the pituitary LH surge without the LH surge. Ovulation is delayed or blacked entirely, so no egg is available to be fertilized. Simultaneously, the high progesterone thickens the cervical mucus. Here is S. This creates a thick, impenetrable mucus plus cervix that sperms cannot swim through, so blocking their path to the egg even if some survive in the vagina. As a third layer of protection, the progesterone alters the endometrial lining, T. It becomes thin and unsuitable for implantation. So even if fertilization somehow occurred, the embryo cannot implant. The combined effect of all three mechanisms ensures you. So pregnancy is avoided. So here we explained 10 most important and expected questions for your upcoming NEET examinations. And next, I will come up with another topic which are very important for your NEET examination. Till so far, I would like to conclude this session with very well goodness. Thank you, and thank you so much to all.